Hello everyone, welcome back. It's UnkleDestiny here, and it's time to do the reading for October. Now, depending on where you are in the world, where you've now had the fall equinox, so we're now moving into the fall, or, for those of you in the southern hemisphere, heading into the springtime. Now, what's also key about the month of October is that we're heading towards the 31st, which, depending on your spiritual beliefs, is the time of Samhain, or Swain, depending on how you pronounce it, in which, and All Saints' Day, in which the veil between the spiritual world and the physical world is supposed to be at its thinnest. And we celebrate Halloween. Now, in all honesty, that's probably something some of you may or may not practice. But understand that it is a time when spirit is also much more active and is trying to have its own celebration. And I would say that's a celebration not of death, but of life. And celebrating everyone here on this side. So, let's get the ancestors in and the spirits in to see what the month of October holds for everybody and what type of party that we're all going to be having. So, all right, well, got a bunch on the table today. Let's see, what have we got? There is a sense of... Okay, so what this reminds me of is pretty much a... you know when you're looking at a fountain, how you've got the two sides of it and then the little lip that's allowing the water to pour off of it down into the other collection pond? This reminds me very much of one of those catch basins with the spout. And that's shaped by the two outer bones and then the inner one here, which is actually the water that's flowing out of it into another one. So, these bones, so this is also about both pooling resources, pooling the energy, but also allowing it to flow out, because it can't all be in one place. The volume is too great, so it's also about sharing. So we have home, work, family. So since home and family are right now the ones that are forming the container aspect, it's a question that's going to be very much a focus on how are they acting as containers for you? How is your home acting as a container? How is it acting as a safe haven? How is it acting as a power base for whatever you're doing? Just as equally, how is family also acting as a place of safety, as a place of support? And I'm going to broaden this beyond just the family of blood and of origin. This also includes the family of your choice. And even more so, sometimes also the family you surround yourself with that is not of choice. Let's say your coworkers or any type of organization that you happen to be part of. You want to make sure that they are the type of people, no matter what, are going to support you. If not, and they're expecting you just to support them all the time, that's a problem. So it has to be a two-way street. You support them, they support you back. It's just not a take. And if so, that side of the structure cannot hold the water, the divine energy that's coming in. And I kind of see that too, because one of the bones that is collected around the base of the family bone is the broken rib bone, and it's sharp. So there's also the elements of disagreements, the element of misunderstanding. There could also be some hurt feelings if whatever action you have to take is more to benefit yourself than it is the others. Now the thing is, in the actions you take to benefit yourself, is it because you're being greedy, or is it because you're trying to make sure you're healthy? Because as the classic statement, if you've ever flown in an airplane, when the gas mask drops, put on your mask first so then you can then help the either younger or elder that are traveling with you. So you're no good to anybody if you can't also take care of yourself. So we see that with the structure and sort, and support and structure, and is what very much is clustered around the family bone that's going on here. Now again, under the home bone, we have also the copper piece and some of the support structures. Now the copper piece is showing that the divine energies are there, the divine connection is there, and it's around your home, because your home is also where divinity will coalesce. So just as you're making the place, your home, someplace that you can go to and rest, it is also places you can use your power base to build whatever you're going to. It also needs to be a place that welcomes in spirit, the spell welcomes in the divine, so that it can also be in that act of nourishing yourself and providing safety, being the act of providing energy towards whatever you're trying to build off of. So focus on making sure your home is a place not just for yourself, but for spirit, so that its divine energy can bless any of your activities. The activity of rest, the activity of growth. So we'll move into what's spilling out, which is the work bone. Now this one has a number of the supports that are coalescing here inside the vessel, but as we follow the bone out, we see much more that is coming out and flowing from this. And because of how this is flowing out, and it is spreading, and not to mention we also have the the top of the spine bone, but I often see that also as being the pelvic bone, is a combination of both birthing something new, but also being able to have thoughts, a thought around what you're birthing, and what you're birthing has a lot to do with thought as well, intellectual communication, if you will. It may be you're writing a book, you may be planning to start a podcast or doing videos like this here, but it's about sharing information and thought, and what it will bring you is something that will form in time, and it also has the power of wishes behind it, wishes of connection, maybe not yours, but someone else, and those who will listen to what you put out there. And it will become a part of your work, a way of your work that is very different. So looking at work as being something that is not so much punch a clock, go in every day, work as being what is also fulfilling you. And I find that too with that aspect of where it is in proximity to both the family and the work bone, is the aspect, and it leans much more towards the family bone. So what work you are producing is key to what is the role, thought, influence of the family. Be it of choice, be it of origin, be it of the circumstances around work that you are dealing with. And it scatters around. What's more is I see this one here, which is one of the teeth, and I see that there's going to be ability to have nourishment. And that's a critical thing to always consider in your work, is are you being nourished? So you're definitely going to be looking at and producing and spilling out the element and energy about what is nourishment. And it's not just going to be nourishment for you, it's nourishment for everyone. So we'll move to the upper ones here. We come to the crystal, which is about memory. And it's interesting how it's placed, because it's the water, the energy that's flowing into the bowl itself. And in this case, it's about remembering not just why you're doing this, but taking the lessons of the past, the memories of the past, and really learning from them, and allowing spirit and the energy to flow through that, so that it can then gather in the vessel and then pour out. So it's kind of like the aspect of, take a look at what you've learned over the last year, if not last 2 years, about life, about relationships, about nurturing, about nature, and about how you would want to treat somebody, how we would want to be treated, how we treat others. All of that is collecting in this vessel, and all of that is being fed from memory. But it's understanding those memories are here to teach you. They are not the memories you need you to live in. And they'll gather in the bowl, they'll stir around, generating both the support and the ideas and the connections that then get poured out to the greater world, be it into another vessel, and in many ways the world is a vessel in and of itself. But it will flow out and it will reach an entirely different containment. Now we have several other bones that are floating around here from the top. These I see are celestial forces. These are much more about the movements of the world, the movements of the stars. Many would probably say, how can the flow of stars impact our world? And the simple thing is that the whole order, the world that we live on, we're kept here by gravity. Our planet circles around a sun that's in a constant tidal lock of gravity. All the planets, and even our solar system, is spinning through an even bigger system locked by gravity. Now, as we know, because of the way the effect the moon has on us, of creating the push and pull, the tidal surges that happen around the world, so too all these worlds, even though they're much further away from us, create tidal surges, subtle ones, just because they have to travel such a great distance. So the effects of what's going on in the universe are having a push and pull on us, a tidal surge, a rise in tide and low in tide. What's coming up this weekend, which, if I can get this video out soon enough, tomorrow, Sunday, the 27th, is going to be a solar eclipse, a point where the sun and moon in their great dance are going to be crossing each other. And again, the energies are going to be shifted because of that. For a brief moment, the light and energy from the sun is going to be slightly blocked, but it's still going to be coming. The moon is going to get bathed in this energy, and in some ways it'll be charged by it once it passes out and returns the light to the world. Some have feared it, others have seen it as being a sign about dealing with relationships, and relationships are a very big thing in this coming month of October, since it is the relationships at the veil that we're dealing with. The relationship between us and the living and those in the spirits. The only thing that keeps us apart is that veil. So how is our relationship working even though we've got that veil between us? How are we communicating? How are we relating? How are we being of influence both ways? How are we being that vessel to hold that energy and then pass it on? So that's about all that the ancestors and the spirits have to say for right now. Tune in next time and we'll see what the month of November holds for everybody. I want to thank you on behalf of myself, the spirits, and my lovely cameraman over here, and hope to see you again next month in November. This is Uncle Destiny. Ashe and bless you all.